Maverick, 26,913. 25 Ford Bronco Sport Big Bend 4x4, 33,411. 24 Ford Expedition XLT, 61,800. Ray Varner Ford, local you trust with deals you can count on.
Hi, everybody. This is a rare evening weather update. I wanted to jump in here and do a live weather update here this evening, talking all things possible severe storms. Now, we've already had a lot of severe weather over into parts of Missouri, right around the St. Louis area. If you haven't seen it by now, go to my social media account, Mike Witcher TV, or East Tennessee Weather, or also Twitter. But I posted a picture of a tornado just outside of the downtown St. Louis area that actually had a debris ball on it and was picking up debris and lofting it into the atmosphere. And so that's a sign of things to come our way. Now, this is going to line up and be a linear storm as we head through the evening and overnight hours, but it is going to pack a punch. You've probably noticed how humid it is here today. It was warm. Actually, temperatures today topped out at 84 degrees in Knoxville, 80 in Crossville, 86 in Chattanooga, and 82 in the Tri-Cities area. So a warm and muggy day. We even had some heat index values pushing the upper 80s to even low 90s. So yes, it was a hot summer-like day. Thank goodness we didn't have a ton of sunshine today, because that would be more fuel to the fire, and we would have had heat indices pushing well into the low 90s had we had a lot more sunshine. So the clouds and the breeze made it feel a little bit more comfortable if you happen to be working outside. Actually, I want to take you to a live look in downtown Gatlinburg here this evening. And there are those high, thin clouds. Again, we had some thinning at times during the day, and so we did see some sunshine, which, of course, is just adding fuel to the fire. Good evening, Kim. We've got Dwayne, Denise, Brent, and Laura joining us this evening. Of course, if you are on Facebook, if you wouldn't mind just liking and sharing this live broadcast just for community awareness, that would be great. You don't have to. By all means, I have posted on social media, and I also sent out an alert through the East Tennessee Weather app. So if you're joining us on the app here this evening, good evening. Make sure that you use that app here this evening, because I will be doing live severe weather coverage as we head through the overnight hours. All right, so again, it's been a relatively quiet and dry day so far, but that's about to change. Here's what's going on in the big picture. We do have that level 1, 2, 3, and 4 risk for severe storms. Tornadoes have already been breaking out across parts of Missouri into southern Illinois, Indiana. Here across the state of Tennessee, everybody is under at least a level 2 or 3, 3, or 4 risk. Over towards Hopkinsville, Clarksville, Nashville, we got a 2 and 3 risk, or excuse me, a 3 and 4 risk. Anyways, and so that's the story. So if you have any sort of travel plans, if you have folks or family members across the state of Tennessee, or even into parts of Kentucky and Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, make sure you give them a call here tonight and say, hey, listen, if you haven't had the weather yet, it's coming. It's going to be moving its way in. And I'll show you the big picture coming up on the radar as the storm system continues to head our way. Also, realize that you can put your friends and family members into the East Tennessee Weather app. There's a little tiny plus sign at the very top of the center of the app where you can actually put in an exact address in there, and you can be notified of your family members across the country on what may be taking place in their community if they're not necessarily staying on top of the situation. Here at home, we're still under level 2 and 3 risk by the Storm Prediction Center. Where you see the level 3 risk, that's going to be our greatest threat here as we head through the overnight hours for large hail, torrential downpours, damaging winds. We're talking winds in excess of 60 to 70 miles per hour, and isolated tornadoes cannot be ruled out. That's the nature of this storm system as it moves its way on through. If you have any questions, of course, fire away on the chat. I'll try to keep an eye on that. How do you share it to other people, says Mikey Anderson. You just go to the share button on the, I think you can do it on the live broadcast. I believe you can. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, to be honest with you, Mikey. But if you see it on Facebook, go ahead and share it to everybody else. So again, we do have that risk for severe storms. Again, this is going to be from here on out as we head through the overnight hours. I'll walk you through the latest Futurecast model. We also have an elevated flash flood risk. Now, this has also changed from what I was broadcasting at the lunch hour. So we've got a level 1 and a level 2 risk. Most areas are under level 2 risk. Here's the deal. We've had a lot of rain over the last week to 2 weeks. So now the ground is saturated. And so that, combined with all the trees that have leaved out, you get those damaging wind gusts, 60, 70, even 40, 50, 60 mile per hour winds that are going to knock over trees. And that leads to power outages. So again, before you head off to bed, make sure all your devices are all charged up and ready to go. And again, if you have a NOAA weather radio, make sure it's running appropriately. Listen, they're great. They're the voice of the National Weather Service when you're not paying attention or you're sound asleep. But of course, make sure you allow notifications on the East Tennessee Weather app. and you will be notified as well. As long as you have your ringer on, you'll get notified of all these storms. Now, we do not, let me stress this, we do not have a tornado watch right now. But, well, the reason why I'm showing you this is because just off to our north and west, there's a tornado watch. So I would imagine at some point in the game, we're going to get at least a severe thunderstorm watch issued by the Storm Prediction Center, maybe a tornado watch. We'll see what the Storm Prediction Center does with this. But as of right now, no watches, no warnings. Here are your storm threats tonight into early tomorrow morning. Most of it, the timing of this looks like it's kind of picked up a little bit of speed, which, of course, we've talked about over the last couple of days. I've put the wind damage into the extreme category. And the reason why is what I just told you. All the trees have leaved out. So now there's more surface area for the wind to grab onto. It's been a saturated ground because we've had a lot of rainfall, and we're talking winds in excess of 60 to 70 miles per hour or greater. Isolated in nature, but that's enough to knock down trees, knock down power lines, and create a slew of power outages. I also have tornadoes in the medium category, and here's why with that. We've got a lot of spin in the atmosphere. We got a lot of low-level spin as the storm approaches. And so as we get this line of severe weather to move on through, we could get spin-ups in that. Now, they're not going to be very large tornadoes or long track tornadoes. That's not the environment that we're going to be dealing with. The only reason why we would end up seeing that at all is if we got some discrete cells out ahead of this main line. That would be the only reason we would get a larger tornado or a longer track tornado. Other than that, it's going to be in the main line. Spin-ups are possible, so yes, there is a chance. So think about that as you head off to bed. Do you have your emergency kit ready? Do you have flashlights and NOAA weather radios and a first aid kit and helmets and blankets and stuff ready to go? Bottled water, and again, because you're likely to lose power in many areas around East Tennessee, and you want to be able to grab that stuff really quickly. And so I'll talk more about that here in a second. But golf ball or smaller hail, so golf ball ping pong size. Some storms could produce larger than a quarter, so that would be damaging hail. So I put that in the medium category. And isolated flooding and flash flooding concerns because the atmosphere is water loaded, and that is going to produce incredible torrential downpours, gully washers. I mean, it is going to be blowing, and it is going to be raining like cats and dogs. I'm telling you. And so a lot of us may not even, if you go to sleep early, you may get woken up, or many of us are probably going to stay up until the event is over. I mean, it's a Friday night, right? And so a lot of people are going to be out and about as well. And I think that's important to note as well. Listen, if you have kids that are in college and you're joining us from another part of the country, because I do have a lot of UT parents that do follow the East Tennessee Weather Platform and have the app themselves because they can follow all the watches and warnings here locally. So if you have a UT student, of course, we've got graduation weekend happening here this weekend. A lot of graduations are happening tonight as well. Make sure that they or everybody around you, your friends and family, know exactly what's going to be taking place or potentially could be taking place here through the evening and overnight hours. All right, let's go ahead and pick up our timeline. Again, this Futurecast picking up on a couple of showers up towards Claiborne County, Hawkins, Hancock. We're not seeing any rainfall out there right now, okay? But let's go ahead and take this into the future. Here's 7 o'clock here tonight. Now we've started to see the storms starting to pick up steam. Here's 10 o'clock. And again, if you were with me about, yesterday morning, I think it was, maybe 2 days ago, the storm was looking like 2 to 4 o'clock in the morning. But over the last couple of days, I said these typically pick up speed. And they are typically early arrivals based on what model guidance is saying. But I think anytime after sundown to about 10 o'clock is a good timing so far because we don't have anything going on around our region so far. All right, so there's 10 o'clock tonight. Now let's take you to 11. It's that leading edge, that line. That's where we could get bow echoes. That's when the wind aloft is being transferred down to the surface, so it pushes the radar, the center of the radar out, and those are damaging wind gusts. You also have little notches in that. See those little notches up toward North Knox County, south of Maynardville, east of Oak Ridge? I mean, this is a model guidance, but this is picking up the idea that that's where you get little spin-ups to take place. So I would be, if I'm a betting man, which I'm not, I'd bet we're going to have a slew of severe thunderstorm warnings, probably up and down this entire line, with either A, tornado tags associated with the severe thunderstorm warnings, and or I wouldn't be surprised if we have numerous or at least a couple tornado warnings. Just throwing it out there. Based on how the environment is all playing out. There's midnight tonight, okay? So I think after about midnight to 1-ish or so, I think we're going to be all clear. Strong thunderstorms still probably around 1 o'clock across the mountain counties, and then just heavy rain on the backside of that, all the way through about 2. and through the overnight hours. But by 7 o'clock in the morning, here's a silver lining for you. It does look like we will start to see improving conditions. I think the main line is going to be off to our south and southeast. We're going to have, obviously, wet roads and a lot of storm damage to clean up early in the morning. But Saturday turns out to be an absolutely beautiful day, albeit on the windy side. But Saturday is going to turn out to be gorgeous for sure. All right, so here's what I'm talking about with your emergency kit. We're talking pillows and blankets and batteries and cell phones, of course, and first aid kits, flashlights, some bottled water, no weather radio, helmets, food, some snacks, right? Non-perishable, of course. Talk to the kids about that all the time. But also download the East Tennessee Weather app because you'll be able to watch the live broadcast. I'm broadcasting live front and center on the app right now. You can see that right there. That is the East Tennessee Weather app, and there we are broadcasting live on top of the app. And I'm keeping this broadcast open the entire time. I'm actually running a special 24-hour weather channel at the top of the app. I do run a 24-hour weather channel, but I'm doing a special one tonight that gives you all the information you need to know from the latest radar information, not just here locally, but across our region, so you can get an idea of what that looks like. The latest watches and warnings from the National Weather Service, the latest Futurecast, and of course, I will pop in and do updates as well. As soon as I get done with this, we'll be doing another update on the East Tennessee Weather app itself. All right, so that's what we need to have ready to go in a moment's notice, because realize you have a moment to upwards max of 15 minutes when a tornado warning is issued. Max. Right? And I would imagine this storm's going to be blasting pretty quickly. And so therefore the National Weather Service is going to be warning well ahead of the storm to give us updates and time to get ready and prepare and take shelter if you need to take shelter. Remember, you don't want to be in mobile homes. You don't want to be in manufactured homes. You don't want to be in tents or campers. So look around you. If you're joining us from an unsafe location or structure, look around your community. See where you would go if you need to go to somewhere here tonight. All right, low temperatures tonight drop down into the 60s, so it's going to be another mild start to our Saturday. Now we're moving on with the rest of the forecast here, and I'll go back and try to answer as many questions as possible. Wind gust trend, it's going to be a windy Saturday, at least for most of the day, and then as we get into Saturday night, Sunday, the wind will start to relax. But it is going to be a windy day, so no, think about that if you have any sort of outdoor plans or activities, but it's still going to be a gorgeous day, so at least we can embrace that. And maybe a good nap day if you don't get much sleep here tonight, which likely is going to be the case for me. All right, forecast high temperatures Saturday are going to be in the low, mid, and maybe even a few pockets of upper 80s. So this cold front's not going to draw in incredibly cold air because those temperatures are still trending above average. Our average high for this time of year is about 78 degrees. All right, when you look at your rain chances Sunday, there's maybe a little passing shower, a little disturbance that may swing its way through that gives us a couple of showers, maybe a few rumbles of thunder. No severe weather threat, though, on Sunday, and that may linger into our Monday as well. But Tuesday into Wednesday, notice the rain chances are going to be elevated. We actually do have a chance for some strong to severe thunderstorms possible Tuesday night into Wednesday. Does it turn out to be how tonight's going to play out? I don't know. We'll see how it all plays out in the coming days, so make sure you check back in as we get into the upcoming weekend. Rainfall totals all the way through next Thursday, so this does include tonight's storm system and a little bit of rain on Monday and maybe a couple of passing showers on Sunday, but more rain expected Tuesday and Wednesday, and we're likely to pick up well over an inch to pockets of 2 inches. And again, that could be the story even overnight tonight. This is just from the Weather Prediction Center, kind of broad brushing. It's not saying, okay, this is all convective rain per se. This is kind of broad brushing the idea of how much potential rainfall we could see around the area. All right, so here's your 7-day forecast. We'll take that full for you. 84 degrees, sunny skies on Saturday. We're going to be at 82 on Sunday, maybe a couple of passing showers. Monday, we'll do the same thing at down to 81. Look at our average high. Okay, 79 for this time of year now. So our average high is 79. Strong to possible severe storms Tuesday night into Wednesday, but this one is going to usher in some much colder air. Whippoorwill winter, I think is what they're calling it. We're down to 75 degrees on Wednesday, 68 degrees on Thursday. That's trending 10 degrees below average. And then by Friday, sunny and 70 degrees returns to the area. So definitely something to kind of keep in mind as we head through the overnight hours in the next couple of days, but we'll take it back outside here. Live look there from Fox Road Marina. Got that wind. The wind's been hanging out with us throughout the day today. And so it is a rather breezy and gusty day around town. I just want you to stay weather alert. So again, if you're joining me on Facebook, if you're joining me on YouTube, thank you for joining us here this evening. But download the East Tennessee Weather app, scan that QR code, or log on to easttnweather.com, or just search East TN Weather, all one word, or East Tennessee Weather. It doesn't matter. It shows up in the App Store from your App Store. Make sure you allow notifications and make sure you allow location services. But those are the two main things on an event like tonight, especially if you're going to be traveling. I've been trying to field as many messages on social media as possible. If you are going to be traveling, just keep in mind that the app will travel wherever you go. You don't have to keep it on all the time, but it is a good function on the app to keep you alerted. You're going to be notified when lightning is within 15 miles of your location. You're going to be notified when storms are approaching, especially strong storms. You're going to be notified. Maybe many of you got the notification that I'm doing a live update on the app here this evening. And these are the kind of things that the app does. Of course, it goes above and beyond that. Day parts, 7 days. The interactive radar is absolutely amazing because it gives you past, current, and future radar of 2 hours based on what's going on right now. So maybe something before you head off to bed, you can check in with me. But before you head off to bed, you can check in with that interactive radar to see how things may be playing out. But definitely a good tool to have in your tool chat, your tool thing. Yeah, that tool thing. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to walk and talk at the same time. All right, so I wanted to take you back to the radar to show you what's going on. This is your national radar. So we have severe thunderstorm warnings, even some tornado warnings out towards Carbondale, Cape Girardeau. We've got over towards Hopkinsville. We've got in western Kentucky. So that's a little bit closer to Princeton, Madisonville, Greenville, Kentucky. And again, this is just getting going. We've got some severe storms also up towards Terre Haute, Indiana, Lafayette, working its way towards Indianapolis as some strong storms there. So really, in the grand scheme of things, not a ton of activity so far, and it is far to our west. It is 6 o'clock, so we've got about another 4 hours or so to be able to enjoy your evening, enjoy dinner, and this might be a good time. Listen, if you have an establishment that you have a lot of TVs, I'm in many establishments around East Tennessee with the 24-hour Weather Channel. Maybe a good idea tonight, if you've got patrons in there, to put on the East Tennessee Weather Channel and stay up to date. Keep your patrons an extra benefit while being in your establishment. I'm on YouTube, Roku TV, or Amazon Fire. You can find East Tennessee Weather there that broadcasts 24/7. All right, let's go to the chat here for a second. I'll leave that on. We'll just come full here for a second. What's up, Bryson? How are you this evening? All right, how will June weather be in the first 2 weeks? Brenda, I don't know. We got to get through this event. We got to get through a Tuesday night's event, and we also have to get through, my birthday too. No, I'm just kidding. We'll still do weather. I will show you that this might be a benefit to you. This might be what you're talking about. So let me go back to this. This takes us from May 22nd through May 26th. This is from the Weather Prediction Center. So below average temperatures expected from May 22nd through May 26th. And this takes us till the end of the month. So we may be trending below average at times as we round out the month of May. But too far out to talk about the month of June. It was a hot day for our second and third graders who had field day today. Awesome. You're very welcome, Angela. And again, if you wouldn't mind liking, subscribing, sharing. Hey, Kim, how are you? Don't forget I'm on YouTube. And if you add the little bell and subscribe to YouTube and allow notifications every time I send out a new weather, you'll be notified. Anytime I do live severe weather updates, you'll be notified as well. Well, I'm with you on that one, Dwayne. Nobody wants tornadoes, that's for sure. Let's see. You're welcome. Let's see. Joy. Let's see. Betty says, hi, Mike from McMinn County. Nice to meet you yesterday at EK Baker. Nice to meet you as well, Betty. I can't wait for you to reach out a little bit more, and hopefully we can create some awesome partnership. That would be awesome. Let's see. Any rotation with these storms coming through tonight? Absolutely, Pop Bear. Yeah, we've got a lot of rotation in the atmosphere, a lot of instability in the atmosphere. Now, our rotation isn't full through the entire column of the atmosphere. Actually, most of our rotation is in the low levels of the atmosphere, but that's what we need to get rotating supercell thunderstorms, or rotating thunderstorms anyways. Enough rotation in the low levels that I think that there's still a tornado threat because we've got quite a lot of energy and spin in the low levels of the atmosphere, and a lot of energy throughout the entire column of the atmosphere as well. A lot of CAPE, where it's convective available potential energy. The way you describe that is if holding a basketball in the deep end of a swimming pool, if you hold the basketball there, nothing happens, right? The basketball doesn't rise on its own. Same with the atmosphere. So the atmosphere is like the deep end of a swimming pool. If you let that basketball go, what's going to happen? It's going to shoot up like a rocket. Well, that's what happens with our atmosphere. If we have a lifting mechanism in the atmosphere based on the kind of atmosphere that we have going on right now, the atmosphere, that parcel of air is going to rise freely on its own and shoot up like a rocket. And that's what's going to produce the severe storms, along with also the wind shear, winds changing speed and direction with height. What's up, Kathy? How are you this evening? You're very welcome. I hope everybody stays safe tonight as well. What about the plateau? Plateau, April. Obviously, the plateau typically gets, not obviously, but typically gets more severe weather than the valley and the mountains in upper East Tennessee. So yeah, you do have the greatest threat for severe weather. Large hail, damaging wind, upwards of 60 to 70 miles per hour, and isolated tornadoes. So heads up on the plateau. Make sure you stay weather alert, and I'll keep you posted on that as well. Matt, I'm with you on that one. I hope we don't get a tornado in Knoxville as well. Nobody wants tornadoes, but just realize, and I can't stress this enough. I say this a lot. I may sound like a broken record, but just realize that damaging wind gusts of 60, 70 plus miles per hour that are going to topple trees over tonight can do more destruction than tornadoes. Just keep that in mind. I think we put too much emphasis, not too much, but we put more emphasis on tornadoes here in East Tennessee than damaging wind gusts, but we see it every year, year after year, trees being knocked down onto houses, onto cars, onto rooftops, and it causes a lot of destruction and can do, because it's more widespread destruction than isolated tornadoes, typically people a little bit more frequently anyways, people can get hurt. Mikey, go fast so we can get this over with. I'm with you, Sage. How are you this evening? I wish I could answer that question about June there, Brenda. What about Anderson County? So just listen, a lot of folks have been asking, what about specifically cities and counties that you may live in? Just realize that everybody in East Tennessee is under a risk for severe storms. Everybody. And so that's what we're going to be monitoring here through the rest of the evening hours, is everybody's under a risk. And so I can't be necessarily super specific about your county, your city specifically, because everybody is underneath that risk, and I want everybody to stay safe for sure. All right, Julie, Witcher Weather Watchers will be helping you out. That's right. We do have, 42 Witcher Weather Watchers here in East Tennessee that do cover most of East Tennessee and multiple counties anyways. And so Witcher Weather Watchers, be on the standby if you would like to stay up late tonight. I know Chris is going to be out maybe driving around and getting us some live updates from his car as he's mounted the camera there. And so we'll be keeping you up to date on that for sure. Brent says it's going to be a late night tonight. It is. What's up, Kenny Vloggins? How are you? Let's see. Ashley says, I work. What are we looking at for 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. in Scott County? Severe weather. Ashley, if you work in a building that has hopefully it's a good sturdy building, a safe building to be in. But if not, make sure that you and your coworkers and your boss, of course, knows that, hey, listen, we may need to go somewhere else if our building, wherever you work, is not safe enough to take cover. So that's something to kind of keep in mind here through the evening hours as well. All right, let's see. What else have we got? We got Sue Todd. Well, good evening from Wares Valley. Be safe in Wares Valley tonight. I'm scared in Johnson City for tornadoes. Well, the good news is Glenda, usually Johnson City and Upper East Tennessee, we get a lot of weakening before these storms really blast on through. Typically here in East Tennessee, you get more severe weather across the Cumberland Plateau, and the further west you are, then the further east you are. Let's see. Janie, how are you this evening? Good evening, Mike. I'll have you tuned in. I hope you do. Will it weaken any? That's the hopes. The atmosphere is primed, so the pump is there. The pump is primed, but do we really get that spark to really get severe and intense storms? Well, the atmosphere says otherwise, right? It says that we will. And so now it's just a waiting game. So now we just sit here and wait until the storms arrive. It's like watching paint dry until the storms actually move their way on in. Got here late. How about Kingston area? I can't be specific for all locations, but just know that you are under a risk for severe storms. Listen, if you follow me on social media, if you have the East Tennessee Weather app, when the National Weather Service issues or the Storm Prediction Center issues a severe thunderstorm watch, which it would likely come down here over the next couple of hours, I would imagine, then we need to watch it closely. But of course, we've got the Storm Prediction Center watching this. We've got the National Weather Service watching it, who issues the watches and issues all the warnings. And I'll be watching it as well as we progress through the evening hours. And listen, we're at 6 o'clock now, so we're going to let you go and enjoy your day, or enjoy the rest of your evening. I will probably cut in well before the storms come in, If they're blasting through Nashville and central Kentucky, I'll probably come in to give you an update. Hey, listen, we're probably about an hour away from severe storms hitting our areas. So just keep that in mind. And again, if you have, that's another reason why to have the app. You can't rely solely on social media. It may not always be here in the form and fashion that we know it as, right? Facebook could go away tomorrow. God forbid. What would we do without Facebook? But that's why you need the East Tennessee Weather app. So scan that QR code in the bottom right-hand side of the screen. Download it today because that's not going anywhere, and that's here to stay for a very long time. All right, there we go. See, Kathy says, I recommend you download your apps to... I recommended your app to somebody today, and they downloaded it. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for all you do. You're very welcome. Great question. How does heat fuel these storms? Heat creates buoyancy in the atmosphere. So the warmer it is, the more unstable the air is. The more moisture we have, the more unstable the air is. And so you just need a lifting mechanism to lift all this unstable air. It's, a potential energy just kind of hanging out with us right now. Now we need a lifting mechanism to force that air to rise. And once we do, it becomes explosive, just like the basketball in the deep end. No rotation. Welcome to Maryville in the city of Maryville. I'm with you. Jama, maybe. So hopefully you got the information I just passed along. Let's see. Got a few more questions to hit, and I'll let you go for the rest of the evening. Hey, Mike, I'm going to be heading to West Palm Beach, traveling now. Will I hit any weather? West Palm Beach, depending on where you are. I'm not quite sure where you are right now, but if you're leaving East Tennessee right now, you should be fine. Now, of course, this cold front will eventually maybe catch you. It depends if you're stopping for the night tonight. But yes, we do have a risk for severe storms down to our south, into Georgia, Alabama, South Carolina. So something to kind of keep in mind. But if you've already hit the road and you're traveling right now, you should be just fine. Just joined. How's the plateau looking? Well, the plateau's not looking good. That's the greatest threat that we have here in East Tennessee. I'll just walk you through just for some late stragglers here. I will walk you through that again here in just a second, just to kind of give you an idea. We'll break it down one more time, and then I'll let you go for the evening hours so a lot of you can plan. So stick with me. We'll get that going here in just a second. But my computer is dogging out on me, so I have to get off and reset everything here in just a moment. But plateau's looking strong to severe storms. Let's see. Luckily, I've got the app, so I'll definitely have my phone turned up. Good job, Ashley. You're very welcome, Janie. The main threat is to the west, but everybody here in East Tennessee is under the threat for severe weather. So that's definitely something that we need to watch closely here. So everybody is under a threat for severe weather. So let me take you to the big picture once again, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here in just a second once it gets loading again, because our entire region has a risk for severe storms here for the rest of the night tonight. Let's see. Downloaded the app just now. Yay! Now, again, allow notifications and GPS location services, and the app will be your best friend as it will notify you of everything. And a little quick tip and trick for those of you that may not have the app right now or may have just downloaded the app. Let me just give you a couple of quick tips and tricks while my computer finishes loading. Of course, I do a 1 minute with Witcher every single day. I do it once a day. So if you ever just want 1 minute of your time, give me 1 minute of your time. You get all the weather information you could possibly want. I do a full forecast, like a classic old-fashioned TV full forecast. Sometimes they're really long because I have a lot of information to pass along. Right here at the top, there's a little tiny plus sign. See where my mouse is at the top of the screen there? There's a little tiny plus sign. I sure wish they'd make it a little bit bigger. But you can go in there and add a location. So click on this add a location. You can add a specific address for your friends and family that may have severe weather impending here tonight. You can add your specific address if you're away from your home. Your home location will always be notified, even if you're in Florida, of impending severe weather. But also the interactive radar is going to give you past, current, and future radar. So we're in Denver. Let's go back to the storms over across the Great Plains. So here we go. So here's our storms up towards Green Bay, Wisconsin. We'll just go over here. The cool thing about the app is, you'll get notifications when lightning is within 15 miles of your location. But the app is going to give you past 2 hours. There's your past 2 hour radar, current radar, Futurecast of 2 hours, based on what's going on right now. You cannot beat the robust activity or the robustness of the East Tennessee Weather app. It is hands down definitely the best. And then front and center, it's not showing up on my computer because it doesn't. But on your phone, it will show up just as I showed you a moment ago that we are broadcasting live right there, front and center on the app itself as we speak. So it's going to be a great tool. But again, you got to add location services and GPS, location services and notifications. You're asked to do that when you first go to the app. But if you did not do that, make sure you go through your cell phone and allow those notifications. All right, let's go back to the forecast here for a second. This is our severe weather risk here for you late joiners. We've got a level 2, 3 risk for us here in East Tennessee, a level 4 risk just off to our north and northwest. And that's the story. Everybody here in East Tennessee, everybody around our region is under that risk for severe storms. We also have the potential for flooding and flash flooding. We do not have a tornado watch right now, but just off to our north and west, we do. And so I would imagine that the Storm Prediction Center issues at least a severe thunderstorm watch, at which point you'll get that notification on the East Tennessee Weather app. And if you like the app, I would really recommend, or really appreciate anyways, I should say, if you like it and share it to everybody that you know, friends, coworkers, family members, to have them download the East Tennessee Weather app as well. So here are our storm threats for all of East Tennessee. Extreme winds, the possibility of 60 to 70 mile per hour winds. Now, is this going to be for everybody? No, absolutely not. But do we have the potential of seeing 60 to 70 mile per hour winds? We do. Medium category when it comes to tornadoes. Okay, yes. Does that mean everyone's going to get a tornado warning or a tornado tonight? Absolutely not. But there is a chance for a couple of isolated tornadoes or at least spin-ups. And so I would imagine that we'll probably have a couple tornado warnings. If not, well, I think we're going to have a slew of severe thunderstorm warnings from the National Weather Service. And of course, you'll get that information with the East Tennessee Weather app as long as you allow notifications. Golf ball size hail, so ping pong to golf ball size hail can't be ruled out, especially with some of those thunderstorms that really tap into the atmosphere and get going. And we also have a medium category for flooding and flash flooding concerns because we've got a saturated ground. And that's another reason with these damaging wind gusts that I would imagine that we're going to have a slew of power outages tonight. So let's pick up our Futurecast here at the 6, 7 o'clock hour. We'll run you all the way through 10 o'clock. So the timing is anytime after sundown. Through about 10 o'clock, we'll start to see the showers and thunderstorms ramp up, give or take about an hour or so. Through about 11, it's going to continue to race its way off to the south and southeast. And so for you folks in Upper East Tennessee, the mountain counties, yes, you have a risk for severe storms as well. But I do anticipate the greatest threat, the more extensive severe storms to be across the Cumberland Plateau and southeastern Kentucky. I think as we get into the 1, 2 o'clock hour tonight, most of the severe weather moves off to our southeast. It turns into a heavy rain event. As we get into the sunrise hour on Saturday, we're going to have mostly cloudy skies and wet roads. If you travel early in the morning, watch out for debris on the wet roadways. And then Saturday afternoon is going to turn out to be an absolutely beautiful but windy Saturday afternoon. Hopefully I answered your questions appropriately. Good to see you back on TV. Thank you, Matt Staum. Matt Staum, I think it is. Better than TV. Yes, sir. Yes, it is. And listen, Amanda just downloaded the app. Yay, Amanda. Pass it along to everybody that you know. Let's see. I do thank you for going over it. Yes, I try to teach everybody what to do. The app is called East TN Weather. I will put a link for the website. Let's see, www.easttnweather.com. There it is. I just threw it into the chat for all of you. Click on that link. That takes you to the East Tennessee Weather webpage. At the top of the webpage, I've got a link for Android and or iPhone. Just type in East Tennessee Weather, East TN Weather from your app store, and you will get everything you need to be able to download the app. If you like it, or just scan that QR code right there in the bottom right-hand side of the screen. Or if you have an Android or iPhone, you can just take a picture of it, put it into your photos, and then click on it from your photos, and it will take you back to that QR code. So it's a really a great thing. All right. Thank you very much, Wayne. I do appreciate it. I sure hope you all have a great night. Listen, I'll be back before the storms come into East Tennessee. So tune in for another live weather update, probably in the next couple of hours or so. As the storms approach, I'll keep you up to date. And then when storms move on in, we'll be doing wall-to-wall severe weather coverage on all East Tennessee weather platforms. That's Roku TV, Amazon Fire, YouTube. Go smash and subscribe that YouTube button. And remember, because it's on Roku, go search the apps in the Roku channel or Amazon Fire. You can put East Tennessee weather up on the big screen. For those of you new to the platform, it is a family-friendly way for you to get weather every day. I broadcast Monday through Friday at 6 a.m., Saturday and Sunday at 7 a.m. for a live weather update to help you and your family get off to work and school every day without having to get the bad news of the day. Although I'm kind of being a bearer of bad news today because we have severe weather. I'm sorry about that. All right, my friends, go enjoy some dinner, watch a movie tonight, hang out with friends and family members, but have a way to receive weather information, have a place to go if you don't live in a sturdy building. I'll see you back here in just a little bit. Until then, enjoy this beautiful view from Loudon Dam